I'm going to talk about using aircraft stripper today, which is a very, very powerful paint remover. One of the things that you absolutely need to do is protect yourself from this stuff. So you want to use really good rubber gloves. These are a chemical rated glove, very thick. And you want to use eye protection and cover your skin so that if it splashes and gets on your skin, you don't burn yourself, because it will actually strip your skin off your body as well as paint off a trailer. Two other things that I use when I'm using the aircraft stripper is I use a mask that, because the fumes are pretty strong and they do bother you if you don't have some type of a mask on. And then I use a face shield, so that'll protect my whole face from any type of splashes that might occur. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay, because I have a mask on. But I'm going to start using the stripper, and I'm just going to put it liberally, start brushing it on the paint that I want to strip. Now, one of the questions that I always get is, how long should I leave the stripper on the paint before I start taking it off? And the answer is, it depends on the paint. Okay, now what you're looking for is the paint to start bubbling up like it is right here. You can see that it's actually lifting from the metal, and that's what you're going for. The one thing you want to make sure of is that you keep it wet with stripper, because if you just put a thin coat of stripper on, it's going to actually eat the paint, but then it's going to dry really fast and it'll get hard again, and it'll make it hard to remove. And one trick is, if you need to leave the stripper on for a long time, and I learned this from my friend Doug Johnson from Retro Rides, put a piece of plastic over the stripper and just let it sit there. That way the stripper won't dry quickly. Okay, now what I use in a situation like this is a little plastic spatula. This is actually a tool that's used in body and paint to spread body filler. So what I do is start at the top, and I just start scraping the paint downward, and you can see how that's coming off really nicely. And I try to get as much of it off as I can. And I've got plastic on the ground because, and I've got the bottom part of the trailer masked off, because this paint will drip all over everything and make a huge mess. Because right now the paint is literally liquid. Okay, now I've got as much of the paint scraped off with the scraper that I can get, and so I still need to get a lot of this loose paint off. And so I have a bucket of water here, and then I have these, they're kind of like Scotch pads, and I use the Scotch pad with water to continue getting the loose paint off. And you want to start from the top and work your way down so that the water that you're using is actually dripping down and helping you. This also helps keep the paint from drying again and getting hard, because it will do that even though it's got stripper in it. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to scrub this and get off as much of the paint as I possibly can, and then I may have to go over some areas again with some additional stripper. And I'll use a wet rag to wipe and get off as much of the residue as I can, like this. And then use a dryer rag to wipe that off, so the surface is fairly dry. Because you don't want any of that residue drying on your metal, because it will leave a film that you'll have to get off. Okay, as you can see, the metal looks pretty good. We do have a few areas where there's still some paint that the stripper didn't get through. So I'm going to put another thin coat of stripper on that, and then use the scouring pad to get rid of that.